Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well tonight. Sorry, I'm a tad bit late, but I made it. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm a tad bit late. Jen will be making it tonight. She's a little bit too tired, but I still thought I'd stream. So, I think I'm pretty set with my fish tanks. I've got angel fish tank, which I have them in a 20-gallon at the moment. I'm probably going to move them to the 55, and I'm hoping to get a rack because I'd really like to get two 75s, one for my discus and one for probably a community tank. Or I might just, I don't know. I might just put them in my the 55. But I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I switched out the. I decided I was going to switch. Well, not I decided. I finally got my butt around to taking this play sand out of the 10-gallon tank. So I took the fish out, removed the play sand, and then added in part of a 55-gallon or part of a 50-pound bag. I don't know how much I used because I just poured it into a bucket. But it's about an inch, and I used carrot seed, torpedo. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is. I have not had, because I still have it. I have a bunch of the carob sea sand that I bought from, I think I bought 2 bags, so 20 pounds of carob sea supernatural sand. And I have that in my Blue Dream Neocaridina tank. But for some reason, not for some reason, I didn't get any, because it was really expensive, so I didn't get any sand for any carob sea sand for my my 10-gallon tank on the bottom with my guppies and my CPDs, my celestial pearl danios, and panda guppies are in there. So I finally took out the play sand and put in the Supernaturals Carib Sea Supernaturals torpedo sand, and I put that into my 55 or 10-gallon tank. Just so that when I do water changes, hopefully it won't be quite as messy. I know that it can be, but I'm hoping not. Just because it's a pain to do water changes if it's all cloudy, and I have to pour it in really, really slowly. Which on that tank, since it's so far, it's on the floor, so it's way too far. It's way too low to get that siphon effect in my bathtub. And I don't really have a way to pump water. Well, I could, but it would be very difficult to pump water out of my tank. So I just use a Slurpee cup usually, and that still seems to stir up the water, and it gets very cloudy. So I decided I was just going to put in the Supernaturals torpedo, especially since it was only $18 for a 50-pound bag. So I think I got 200 pounds of sand, which is a pretty good amount I think. So that's what I decided to do, and I finally got my butt around to doing it today. I've been meaning to, but I finally took I finally decided to take the play sand out just because I've been meaning to, and I kept on delaying, and so I just thought, what the hell, why not? So I did it. I need to, but I'm dreading doing it for my 55-gallon tank. I'm gonna turn that into a angel breeding tank. Well, not angel breeding tank, but I'm gonna put the angels in there, and then once they start pairing off, where there probably is gonna be some aggression, I'm gonna move them out of the 20 long, and I might take the fish from the 20 high and move them in there. I haven't decided. Probably not. And I may stick the breeding pair in there and then put the other angels in the 55. We'll see. But if you want to come up, come on up. If I don't see you, let me know. Yeah, I have a python roundhouse. The problem is the tank is literally sitting on the floor because I don't have a ton of space. So I have 12 angelfish. They're about dime size, which I've showed. They're about dime size, and right now they are in a 20 long. I'm going to put them in the 55. Right now, since A, they're in quarantine, B, they're small. Python, it's a siphon. It's a siphon effect. It does matter where it's sitting. The python is a siphon. So it needs gravity. Hello, Fordman. I mean, I could put a pair of angelfish. Python water changer, yes, I have a python. It's not right. It's not in here at the moment. I know this is just RO tubing. I actually have a python, but yeah, that's exactly what I have, roundhouse. And it does matter. Unless you, oh, but you're talking, see, the problem is my bathtub doesn't have the right, yeah, my sink does not have the right connection for that. So I have to drain it out in the backyard. And I can't really use, the way you use it as a siphon and pull all the water out, I think is what you're talking about, is use is to the sink, but I don't have a sink adapter that works for it, unfortunately. So I can't use it on the sink. It has to be gravity fed. But yes, you are right. I do have that. It doesn't work for my use because it is gravity fed. Mine's gravity fed. Because unfortunately neither of my sinks have an adapter. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Otherwise, I may have to do it in a little bit. Two of me. Okay, there we go. So this is the sink. I mean, I can't take out the air stone or the diffuser right now, but this is it. Do you see it, Roundhouse? Alright, I'm assuming that was enough time. Okay. Yeah, so it does come off, but then once I take, I need to get that tool. I get that tool in a little bit. Even after doing that, it still didn't fit. So I need to figure out what adapter to use on there. Because the one, it doesn't, yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just email it to you, Roundhouse. Because, yeah, I do that one manually, and it's a pain in the butt. Especially for the 20 and the 10 on the ground. Because the 20, for some reason, even though it's right by my bed, it's still, the siphon doesn't start. Okay. If anybody wants to come up, being my guest. Unfortunately, Jen could not come because she's really tired. And when she doesn't, um, when she says she's tired, she's tired because she doesn't seem to get a ton of sleep. So, you guys are stuck with me tonight. J Rock, hope you're well. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to take it in. That would be so much easier because I have to go like I want to say it was 50, but I don't know. It was either 50 or 100 feet extension. Hey, Patrick. I forget which one. It was 50 or 100. Little bit tired, but actually pretty good, J Rock. You know, roundhouse, zip it. Okay, I have to ask J Rock. Did you just have cheese fondue? Or did you also have chocolate fondue? We went to God dang. Oh, yeah. We went to Switzerland once. Um, Wait, what? I am so confused right now, J Rock. In Switzerland, we had delicious cheese fondue. Although, yeah, I got you cooked meat, but when I have cheese fondue, we have veggies and stuff. Oh, I okay. J Rock, I love steaks. Luckily, Jeffrey, no, you did not, and I'm not going to. We went to Switzerland and we had cheese fondue, and I really like the cheese fondue. But I don't think I've ever had any other fondue. Although that will be something to try. I like the cheese fondue we usually make, but I have to wait a little while, and then it tastes delicious. Apparently not Roundhouse, because okay, J Rock, I will. um, yes, Patrick, and nice, J Rock. Jen decided to leave me alone and ditch me tonight because she was tired and needed to sleep. And when she's tired and needs to sleep, she's definitely tired. Okay, you guys, you're making me very hungry right now. Okay, I'm not even. J Rock, just a quick question. Do you find all of these in your tanks? Are you finding these in your tanks or your pond? And B, if in the tanks, what the heck are you gonna do with all these baby fry? Wait, it's morning time for you, Patrick? It's like one there, isn't it? But yes, I know this is the only time I could go, and it seems to work with my schedule. So, okay. Hey, Kels. Fender. I, hopefully that's better. Better. Wow, I'm not able to talk. Yeah, J Rock. That is fun. Ah, got it, Patrick. What did I do? What, you guys are keeping up with what shirt colors I'm wearing? I was gonna say that, Jeffrey. I was gonna say that. Haven't changed those. Still the same color as always. Yeah, I'll probably put like a Jeffrey. Um, block the downspouts of the pontiers. You probably could. You can find some mesh. Um, hmm. Well, then they're not really floating, are they, J Rock? Just saying. But that is odd. Depends what plants you're getting, though. Because they shouldn't. That's true, J Rock. Actually, no, because if in fact that's what the issue is, J Rock, then all the plants would be on the bottom tier, not on the top. Because if right now you're saying that they're going oh with the spouts, they're going over into the next tier. Unless you're talking about both plants and fish, stocking both plants and fish. I thought we were just talking about stocking fish. Because that's what I was focusing on, but I could be wrong on what you wanted. Oh. Yeah, see, I don't have an outlet outside where my 4 ponds or 6 Rubbermaid. I just have those Rubbermaid or Sterilite containers that you buy from Costco. They're black, the black ones, and I just have those set up outside. I don't have air in them right now, which I probably should, but there are no outlets out there that are easily accessible. So, yeah. And I haven't decided whether I want to go solar or get a solar power pump. Because that would mean I'd have to get like 6 or so of them. So I was frogfish should float regardless. Water lettuce, I mean, it's a floating plant, but it's not at like floating on the top of the water. And duckweed I hate. CO2 tubing from my brine shrimp hatchery. And I'm just fiddling with it right now, just because I want something to do. Unless you'd rather me click a pen, which I can also do, but I wanted something to do. So I'm just playing with the RO tubing. Yeah, my ponds are in full sun too. Huh. Yeah, I don't know whether I got my duckweed from Jess or from Flip Aquatics. Because I was not I did not want duckweed in my tanks. Roundhouse, I don't know. I don't know if you can tell over. No, you can't. I have the Black Decker AC unit, window unit, portable window unit, and it keeps my room pretty cool. There's a setting on there for the dehumidifier, which I usually run when I'm warm or when I'm cooler. So usually at night, and I just run that, and it still cools down the room a little bit. I don't know where the splash pan is on it, but it says it does it's a dehumidifier, so I don't know. Jeffrey, my vote Not that you asked. My vote would be a 50-gallon lowboy. You could do a lot of fun things with a 50-gallon lowboy. But yeah, I don't like duckweed. Yeah, I did. I wanted AC in my room because my grandmother doesn't want AC. It's too hot uh, or too cold for her when I have it on. So I have my own little unit in my room, which I usually keep at around 72. It works pretty good. Ah, I just can't quite get it all out. Why would I go over there if I have a remote to do it for me? Hello? That's just stupid. Not that you'd never do anything stupid, Roundhouse. Just saying. But yeah, I just. Jeffrey, what do you have? And is it a window unit? Yeah, so I'm not the only one. Roundhouse. Roundhouse. Yeah, J Rock. No, thank you. As Roundhouse would say, I'm too lazy. I have all of my tank lights on a timer because otherwise I would definitely forget to turn them on and off. Patrick, how many tanks do you have again? Because if every day you had to turn on and off 12 lights, that would be a pain. You say lots of crap that is questionable, Roundhouse. I never know why you say things. Yeah, it does work well. Uh, hey, J Rock. Just because I'm hoping you did the work for me. If not, when you do, please let me know. Have you tried out any of the auto feeders? Um, you got them from the co-op. Got it. Yeah, I'm not worried. The shrimp should be fine. Um, Unfortunately, I can't put one, which usually it's fine. I can't put one on my 20-gallon high, but it's seasoned enough, and I have fish in there that can eat algae and whatnot in that tank because they're bristlenose and whatnot. So that should be fine. Um, Only tank I'm worried about is my angelfish tank. So I'm either going to have somebody come over probably twice a day, maybe once, and feed them. It's going to be probably 1 week, but yeah, thank you, Patrick. I got that. Yeah, J Rock, that's what I fear. You're joking, right, J Rock? You have to put a piece of tape on it? That seems like a design flaw. Just saying. Marcos, how are you, bud? Hope you're doing well tonight. Um, let's see. Yeah, my 20-gallon high that I put it on. My 55 is fine because I don't have a ton in there. And what is in there, they can eat, pick at stuff in there already that's in there. Um, but my 20 high has is a, in a both my 55 and 20-gallon high. Since I didn't buy them, they were I got them from my grandpa. I think. Yeah, I think I got both of them from my grandpa, or at least I took them from my grandpa. Um, I took them, and my grandpa had them last. Let's put it that way. Um, and because they're acrylic, they have, well, yeah, both of them. This one has a hood, so I can't put an auto feeder on here, and I can't really put anything on this one, which kind of sucks. That one has a rim. It's like half an inch to an inch. So there's only like an inch, maybe two wide for feeding and other things, and then like maybe, I don't know what the footprint of a 20-gallon hive, but it looks to me like 10 inches. No, I don't know. 2 inches on each side hole for the. Then there's one smaller one in back. So there's no real way for me to put anything on it. Even putting an HOB on there was a pain. Oh, you have a low boy? Did you get a 50 low boy roundhouse? That's what I said, roundhouse. Deborah, Dee Dee, missed you. What do you have in it, roundhouse? And you never show us all your tanks. I have no clue what tanks you have. I should probably do an update on my fish room, but I think I'm put. I know I've taken videos of all my tanks, so I think I might need to go look at that again and see which ones I haven't done. And maybe either splice them together or just do a full fish room tour. Let's see. Yeah, J Rock, but if the power goes off, I don't know if I want them excreting ammonia in the tank. I think I wanna not have them eat, and once the power comes back on and the air comes back on, the auto feeder comes on. Especially because you're not going to be around when it happens. But that is probably a good idea for me to get. Wait, what spotter situation, Dee Dee? Am I missing something? I probably am. Oh. 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 Okay. I need to go look at it then. Patrick. $150 to 200 humpback limias. That's a lot. Wow. I'm assuming you didn't buy them all. They bred. But still, that's a pretty good population. What did you start out with? Roundhouse. Roundhouse. I'm surprised you're up this late, Dee Dee. I thought you were getting up earlier lately. Surprise, surprise, Roundhouse. Okay, I'm confused, Roundhouse. Do you have 100 to 100? Wait, where was that comment? Yeah, you have 100 to 100 or 150 to 200, or you have two, or you started out with two. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh yeah, I would. You guys aren't close to each other. Never mind. Oh, it's called a nap baby. I know, probably hard with your young one, but thank you, Dee Dee. Much appreciated. Always nice having you in chat or on screen, preferably on screen, but still nice. Oh, got it. Wow, that's a lot. That's awesome, though. Yeah, as long as people are in here chatting with me, I'm going. Yeah, Dee Dee, I know. Is she homeschooled or are you home? Um, RO tubing is for the brine shrimp hatcheries that I'm currently making. Patrick. Yeah, all right, I can see that. Wait, what? Um, I did buy one, but I'm modifying it ish. Modifying makes it sound like I'm changing the design of it. I'm not really changing. Well, okay, I am changing the way it works or the way I'm using it, but I haven't actually distorted or changed anything on the Zisper. If that makes sense. And apparently, the quick connect ball valve. Well, okay, I'm not modifying the actual brine shrimp hatchery. I'm just adding. I'm not using the airline tubing from the top. I'm putting it air through the bottom. That's the only difference. And then I'm adding, not modify, well, kind of modify, but I'm adding a uh, quick connect fitting. And since I can, I might decide to, since I have them, but I haven't set them up, I'm thinking about putting, not putting, setting up the other brine shrimp hatcheries as well in the front room. So I might do that. Actually, I might go see. But yeah, I'm thinking about setting up these in the front room as well. Because I made a stand and I can hang these in the front room and use a and have it be kind of the same. Yeah, Patrick, that definitely sounds like a win-win. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing these as well and just having an air pump for these. Haven't decided whether I'm going to do these or not. But I've got the ball valves. Sandy Dowdy, hello. But I might set these up as well. I'll be right back. I'm going to go see if I have 3 more of those. I should, but I don't know where I put them. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. They're in the closet, so I'll get them out later. Hey, Jenny Lynn. Hope you're well. Hope you are too, Sandy. But yes, nonstop projects. I was hoping I could just use airline tubing, but I apparently they need RO tubing. So since I have extra RO tubing, from those ones, thinking about making them. Thinking about it. Okay, quick question, but is anybody crazy enough or crazy like me where they decide to get or buy things just for the projects, not really for the actual product, but just for projects? Although I'll take that back. Nobody's crazy like me. But hey, BJ. Indeedy. Because I don't generally use Essentia bottles, but I decided to buy them just for the Brian Trimpatry project. Patrick, no, but I'll just give you some. And yes, I was trying out Dean, not really, well, kind of Aquarium Co-op. I don't know if he was technically part of Aquarium Co-op yet, but I was thinking about his system. And I kind of meshed Dean's system and there's this Brian Trimpatry. At least that's what that's what I was trying to do. I hope you and you all are doing well. I did. I can't imagine Blackie just finished. I don't know if he did or not. But yeah, I decided to make these, and I've had these for quite a while, but I couldn't figure out why the airline tubing was leaking. So, where the ball valve was. So I never really used it, but I have all the parts. So I might as well. Patrick, because I have, let's see, can I show it? Yes, I can. So I have the two Zis Brown Shrimp hatcheries, and I bought those after I got these Essentia water bottles, which I was going to make into the Dean's Brine Shrimp hatchery, but it kept on leaking, and I've had these for like a year, never used them. But since now that I know you need RO tubing instead of regular airline tubing, and I have extra RO tubing, I might as well use it. Thus, I'm thinking about setting these up. And if I want to, which I probably will, I have way too much brine shrimp right now, and if I don't use it up, it's probably, well, it already probably isn't the best. So I need to hatch it out ASAP. Thus, wanting to set up a bunch of brine shrimp hatcheries. But I had these before I got the Zis. That's exactly what I'm thinking about doing, Deborah. Because I have I want to say, well, okay, I have 2 pounds worth, but I opened one of them, and it was too much of a pain to do because I tried doing Joey, the King of DIYs, brine shrimp hatcheries, and it was just too hard to get under that base, so I never used them, and they're small water bottles. So I haven't been making any. So that one's probably bad. But I still have a pound's worth that is totally in the freezer and is totally sealed. It hasn't been opened yet. So I'm hoping I can get some hatching from those. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been hatching them, and then I've been freezing the extras. That's how you get frozen brine shrimp. And from what I hear, it's just as nutritious for them. So, well, probably not quite as nutritious, but just about. Here it is. But that's exactly what I'm doing, Dee Dee. Because otherwise, I don't want to, and well, it's not that I don't want to, but I might. I have like 3 or 4 tiny. Actually, let me get it out. Here it is. So unfortunately, at the moment, I don't have my own. I think I was the one that said it actually. Or I know I've said it before that I freeze the brine shrimp. But one of the things that I do, because I don't have a freezer or a fridge in my room. So, well, I have my own freezer, but it's in the garage. And of course, my dad took it over. So I have one shelf in the freezer here, but I don't want to get brine shrimp all over the place. So I have those like one of those trays. You can use one of the ones that you get like meat and stuff in, and I have that sitting there. And then I put the brine shrimp, or I put the ice tray on it, and then put the brine shrimp in here. But it's a small one. I figure if I need to, I can always get more than one cube and then thaw it out. But it's harder to cut or slice the brine shrimp with a knife. So I just use the smaller ones. It's not that big, but I figure if I need to, I can always put more than one cube in. It's the way I've been doing it. But I've had that. I've had those brine shrimp for quite a while. So I'm going to see if they are still viable, and if not, I'll probably buy another pound and then just freeze it. But Dee Dee, yes and no. I've had my nails painted. My grandma was gone. My partner in crime was gone, so I didn't get them done for a little, but I've always been. I think honestly, BJ, I got them from AliExpress, and they weren't that expensive. It took a little while for them to get in. I'm sure you could find them on Amazon, but I just typed in small ice cube tray because I figure if it's smaller, I can always add more that defrost or thaw out more than one ice cube. But I can't. It's harder to cut the bigger ones into smaller pieces. So I'm just using the small one, and one of the other things that I've noticed is, at least what I prefer doing, is not adding too much water. So I have let me go get it. It's right over here. There are multiple types or versions of it, but you can get these. These are the brine shrimp sieves. This one's I got from Brine Shrimp Direct. I think it was 4-in-1. So I got this Brine Shrimp Direct. I can get the link in just a sec. But I have clean water, dechlorinated water, and they have ones that are bigger. But I use the sieve and get all of the salt water out, because I do agree, while it's not totally necessary, I do agree with Dean, or at least Dean's rationale, although I don't know if you're feeding it right away, if you need to. I don't know if I need to, but especially if you're feeding it right away. But if you're freezing it, I rinse it and then I add a little bit of water to it, dechlorinated water to it, and then I'll freeze it. And if I know if I know that I'm going to be feeding within the next few days, which I do, I take a portion of those brine shrimp and add, yes, I will, and add it to, or just put it in like a bottle with, give me 1 second, because I have all of this stuff right here. So I either use the turkey baster if I'm going to feed right away, or if I want to a little later, what I'll do is I'll take part of the brine shrimp that I'm going to freeze, and I'll take a portion, however much I'm going to use within a day or two, and I'll put it in one of these, just a soda bottle with I want to see, these are like DIY, not CO2 caps, because the CO2 caps have 2. but I use these. I'll find a link for them. I got these on AliExpress as well, and it's just little piece that comes up, and I can squirt it into the tank. So it just screws on here, and then I just squirt it into the tanks, and then I put it in the fridge and it'll last. The brine shrimp will last for like 2 or 3 days in the fridge. But because I hatch out a decent amount and I don't feed a ton of brine shrimp, I will put it inside of the freezer. So that's what I have here. And I'll get both of those links for you, Patrick. Give me just 1 second. Night, Dee Dee. Let me get brine shrimp direct. You can either get the brine shrimp from Aquarium Co-op or brine shrimp direct. The thing that I like about Aquarium Co-op is I know that I'll buy a bunch of stuff. I don't have to worry about shipping. I do believe that it's a little bit for shipping through brine shrimp direct, so you do need to factor that in. But let me get those 2 links. That's what I usually use. Here we go. Hey, Dr. Black. Shut up, Blackie. So, hello, Blackie. So I just posted a link, Patrick, that has the Artemia, which is basically brine shrimp, sieve, which is, of course, I put it away. In the box with all my other stuff, which is this one. Or you can get, or you can get the 4, which comes with the, where is it? It comes with the different porosity or microns. I think it's 108. It's for Artemia 180 microns, 300 microns, 560, and 900 micron sieves. So you can get that combo, or what I like, which, let me share my screen. And Blackie, if you want to come on up. I know you just finished your show with Hectic, so I don't know if you want to go or you want to come up, but here we go. So this is the one that I have. It's a set of 4 different sieves. They're $12.25. You can get just the Brian Trimpatry sieve. Actually should, which I didn't realize and I might get, is the large one because it does take a little while for the water to drain out. And then I haven't used, but you could use, or you could also get the rotifer sieve and the brine shrimp net. I don't know how. The one brine shrimp net that I got was very small. Yeah, so it's only 3 inches, so it's not that big. And it really doesn't catch small brine shrimp, the small just hatched brine shrimp. I think it's the adults. Because when I tried using it, it just fell right through, or they fell right through, and I couldn't get them. And then if you're on here, it's probably worth your while. I did look on Amazon and they don't have those sieves, or at least the large one, because I was looking on there. And then I got, which I probably should have just gotten the smaller one. I've gotten these ones, which these last longer than the frickin' vials. And you can also get the 12-pound can. Ooh, I'm hoping that's Blackie. Yes, it is. How are you?
I'm okay, I guess. As far as levels of okay go, I'm fine, thank you. I'm in a very, very different environment than what people are probably used to seeing me in. But, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, well.
It's a very, very different environment for me. I don't think I've even streamed from this location before. But, you know, there's a hat there, and there's a fancy... my streaming... You'd think after nearly 100 streams, my streaming pointing would be acceptable, but it's not. I've got a fancy tripod there. All of the fancy items. What's going on, Kevin?
After 100 streams, you'd think you'd have the premium version of, or the, not the premium, but the paid version of StreamYard.
Are you poking fun at my poverty? Is that what you're doing now?
Well, I know you mentioned that you don't, I didn't even know you didn't, but I know you mentioned in your stream that you were debating whether or not you were going to get StreamYard.
Yeah, I would debate that as much as I like in my own internal dimensions, but essentially I'm always going to be a miser, a skinflint. I want all the stuff for free. I don't want to pay $17
I have a question. I have a question, Dr. Black. What's from stopping people? What is there to stop people from adding other people's channels? Because you can add more than one YouTube channel to your account. You just can't stream from more than 3 for the paid and 1 for the, I think 1 for the free version of StreamYard. But what's from stopping somebody from adding several different YouTube channel accounts and letting other people use their StreamYard account and just streaming and just having them click on their own StreamYard, the
Where's the
StreamYard
stream
YouTube
to?
channel thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be casual, because
Why would you bother?
then you would get it for free.
Oh, I see what you mean. If someone's got the paid version of it,
I've got the paid version,
And
and as long as you add your account, your YouTube account, to my StreamYard account, you can stream from there, right?
that almost
So it's from stock.
sounds like an invitation, Kevin. Shall I try it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not right now, but I appreciate what you're saying. I am.
Because honestly, it's like right now I'm paying for it, and so I have because I have unlimited. I mean, once you pay for it, you have unlimited
Hours, etc.
hours, and you don't. And right now, because I am cheap, I got the
Jumped in on one of their specials.
yeah. So I actually have the one where I think it's like $10 a month, which is kind of nice. I think it's usually like 15, so I save like a third of the cost of it.
I'll eagerly
It's like,
wait for a $10 special.
It's like 30% off, which is nice. But yeah, I wouldn't mind.
My last special that I got through from StreamYard was like $16.50 a month, and I think that was still in American dollars. So essentially, it's still going to cost me $30,000 Australian per month to run StreamYard.
Oh heck yeah!
We have pretty terrible exchange rate.
I'll talk to you later about it.
Righto.
Because I really don't see what the point. Because as long as you're not messing around and knowing you probably would, but as long as you don't stream on, well, I mean, I don't really care because it's my channel and I get the hours. But I mean, I could add. I mean, I could add you, and you could just click and go live. And I mean, if you go on my channel, fine. That's just more watch hours for me. But I don't see what the downside to doing that is.
I think clearly the downside would be having me on your channel.
Well, you're on my account, but I just have to delete. I'd have to delete all of the streams where you're making a. Well, should I say it? When you're making an A of yourself, and then of course it's on my account. But besides that,
That's all of my streams, Kevin. I'm constantly making an A of myself.
Good point. I'll give you that.
This whole premise is fraught with risk.
I don't care. I like a little bit of risk.
A little bit of risk. That's what they said in the 80s, and then AIDS happened, didn't it? No one liked risk for the late half of the 80s. Oh, they knew a thing or two about risk by then. Jeez, did I just take this stream to a dark corner of the alley that we didn't want to go down? Sorry. I did nearly a 4-hour stream today. I haven't done one of those for a long time. But I guess that it sends me into this place where I go to someone else's stream and I wreak havoc because I wasn't satisfied with the level of havoc that was achieved during my stream. What are you doing up there? Oh, so what? I want one of those shelves. How do you get? Oh, is that like a built-in wardrobe and you've taken the doors off?
What?
that that little nook you've got there, was it like a wardrobe with sliding doors and you've removed the doors?
Those are drawers.
Doors.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk about that.
Right. I had one of those in a share house I used to live in, and most of my bed went into the wardrobe. So I just pulled the doors off, and it gave me an extra, 3 or 4 square yards of space in my bedroom to be able to sleep in the wardrobe.
Okay, if you must know, the plastic guides were bothering the heck out of me. So I removed those, and then not long after, I removed the doors because it was too much of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, chuck them out the window. Who needs them? Pardon me. Wow, it got so dark all of a sudden. Not just psychically, but out here in the real world. The sun is disappearing. Oh, yeah, that's going to need a little bit
What
more.
time is it there?
It is almost exactly 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Apparently that's hiccup o'clock, because I've got the hiccups again. That's like the 7th time this afternoon.
But it's also winter for you guys, so.
Yeah, but it's even though we've still got a month of winter left, it's almost like spring here because we're getting quite lovely warm days until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Once the sun starts going down, it becomes cold just like that.
Oh.
Those who were actually at my live stream would notice that I've put on a jumper or a sweater, if you will, since going from my live stream to this live stream because the temperature dropped that much.
I did catch part of your stream, but
I saw you saw some of it.
You were running over our time slot, so I had to jump over here and start mine up.
Do you have an official time slot?
Well, okay, I don't know if Jen does, but we go 10 every day except Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday are our weekends.
I might have to make a point of going extra long every week.
You will.
I do definitely want one of those shelves above my fish tanks, though. That looks super useful.
But usually those are Jen's days, so go ahead. Just don't tell her I told you that.
Oh, you must have mistaken me for someone who cares about other people's opinions.
Good point. I'll give you that.
I mean,
my bad. It won't happen again.
I've been doing the same time slot for so many years now. I can't remember that I'm not going to just close down a stream because someone else is starting after me. Goodness. Did you see what happened to that other stream that tried to clash with my time? Where are they now? Hey? They don't seem to stream at that time anymore, do they?
Yeah, a lot of people don't stream at the time they say they're going to.
I'm just slinging my Oh, hang on. I can't say that here, can I?
What?
I won't say that. No, never mind. I don't want to be filthy and gross and degenerate. This is not a degenerate room, Kevin. We're trying to behave. Just keep it sane, lad. Keep it sane.
Sane? What's that?
Exactly. Just wait till summer when I'm doing most of my streams naked.
Oh.
What's in my cup? My cup's turkey soda, bro. I'm fairly perpetually having a turkey soda in my hand. That's what I do.
And did you see BJ's question?
Oh, wait.
Or comment?
About my jumper?
Yes.
Yeah. If anyone is going to notice a change in my clothing, BJ is going to notice it because she cares. She's an empathetic human being who actually gives her stuff, and she's willing to accept that people can change clothing.
Wait, why would I care about you again? Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, no one should care about me, but BJ does. That's the difference. No one should, but BJ does. And that's the kind of person that I appreciate. What the devil are you making?
Brian Trimpatry.
You what?
A Brian Trimpatry.
Right. Gotcha.
What did you think I was making?
Well, let's not go there because this is a wholesome channel.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen
Although
some.
now I kind of want to know.
I've seen some wild things on the internet that whatever you're creating there certainly evoked images of things I've seen in the past. But now that you say it's a Brian Trimpatry, it's like one of those moments where I'm so relieved that that's what it is. What am I going to get sick of? I do have to. Hang on, I got to time this right. Don't waste an up. I always say, don't waste an up. If you've got to get up from a seat, use it wisely. Do as many things as you can with that up as possible. I hope you take that advice to the grave, Kevin. Never waste an up.
Wait, is sleeping considered wasting an hour? Or few?
What?
Nothing.
Sleep's never a waste. Get all the sleep you can. That's the best medicine ever. That's the first thing doctors recommend before they recommend medicine. They say have a nap and call me in the morning or something. That was it, wasn't it?
Wait, since when? Since when do they say have a nap?
Well, they say rest. Doctors always prescribe rest.
Really? Because they always because a lot of them tell me not to.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going into your doctor with a melanoma. They're not going to say, yeah, just sleep it off, mate. That's not going to work for melanoma and stuff. But, if you've got a bit of a flu or something, now he looks like he's smoking a hookah. Jesus. I thought this was a wholesome channel. Kevin's there smoking flutes. Oh, no, that's right. He's making a Brian shrimp hatchery. I've got such bad short-term memory, Kevin. I apologise.
Yeah, I'm sure that's your excuse.
I call it a reason, not an excuse.
2 aspirin, a nap, call in the morning.
Yeah, that's what doctors always used to say. Didn't matter how bad you were hemorrhaging out of your severed leg, just go and sleep it off, mate. That's what they used to say. Anyway, I may have derailed this too much. I've got to step back outside because I've forgotten to bring everything in, except for the burps. I bought the burps. Don't worry about that. And I'm eagerly anticipating this brine shrimp build, so I'm coming back for some more of that. That didn't. Oh, that was just an estimate, wasn't it? That wasn't a measurement. You just estimated that. Kevin,
it's
it's
better
sensible
that
to
I only-
talk. What?
I said it's probably better that I only listen to about half the words you're saying.
I would say that's sensible advice to everyone who listens to me. Probably even half is probably too much. Just like if you can get a third of what I say, you're probably doing well.
Oh, not a quarter?
Nah, a quarter's too little. You won't get nothing out of a quarter.
Oh, bummer.
Somewhere between 30 and 37%, you'll be laughing.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
You won't though. All right, I'll be back. I'll be back in a sec, probably to say goodbye because Kevin will have kicked me out by then. Be back. That one and that one.
Well, I'm trying to figure out whether I want the long end down or the short end. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I probably should have used a hot knife, but I used regular, I think it was scissors to cut it.
Like a soda bottle or something that you're using.
Okay, I asked this before, but have you ever bought things just so that you could make projects with them?
Yeah, sure.
Not for any other reason?
Yeah, I kind of I quite enjoy. Like I'll go for a wander through the hardware store and I'll find stuff and I'll go, that's got to have another purpose other than what they intended it for. I'll take that and one day I'll find a purpose for that thing.
Wait, you have enough time to do that?
No, I don't. No one has time for that, Kevin. It's just what happens.
Oh, so you don't. So you don't.
Sorry, keep going.
I was just gonna say, so you don't plan those detours?
No, more often than not, it'll be like I said, you're in the hardware shop and you'll see something and go, oh, that could be a potential ... I could use that for ... It's those inspirational moments that happen in the aisles of the hardware store that you don't necessarily intend yourself to be in. and all of a sudden you're in the you're in the linoleum flooring section, and you go, oh, there's a thing that it could do this or this. I feel very sorry for hardware stores that they're they're subjected to having to describe their aisles and sections in their store when this might be the flooring department, but so many of those flooring items could be used in so many other things. But they have to pigeonhole it. They have to pigeonhole the irrigation supplies. You can only use this for irrigation. Don't use it for fish tank stuff. No, that's not allowed. Fortunately, the hardware stores prevail and let us do whatever we want with their stuff.
You have to use the supplies responsibly, which I know, of course, you don't. But you're supposed to use the supplies responsibly.
I'm not familiar with this word that you're saying. Responsibly? Responsiblo. I can't even say it properly.
Of course, knowing you probably wouldn't, but that's what the goal is.
Man, I've been terrible with hardware supplies. I've still got a pile of 20, 25 and 40 mil PVC pipe that I bought multiple lengths of, thinking I was going to do all of these awesome things with it. Did like one or two things, and now I've still got 17 or 18 meters of PVC pipe sitting around waiting for their next call.
Okay, just a question. Have you ever made PVC overflows?
No, I haven't made overflows. I'm actually still in the process of getting my head around bell siphons, if you're familiar with a bell siphon.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I think that's realistically the only way to go with PVC overflows, unless someone can school me and tell me that there's another way. As far as overflows go, without to the best of my knowledge, I should say, without a hole in the back of your tank where the water line sits, there's no real 100% guaranteed way of using an overflow.
Well, so you can actually make a PVC overflow.
And does it function like a bell siphon, or is it some other completely different science?
It's different. So it's kind of, I want to say it's kind of like a, God dang it. It's like a it's like a siphon where the water goes into it and you set it at a certain level. So you actually set it at a certain level, and then it goes down and then back up and out. So it equalizes. Yeah, Marcos. My only, I thought about using them. I'm always worried about flooding. Not flooding, but, well, actually, yeah, flooding my floors because it gets clogged.
Marcos is indoor fishing inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Marcos. I had that information in my brain. I just had to confirm it before I seemed like a dickhead. But
Too
yeah,
late
I'd,
for
yeah, thank you. Well done. I see what you did there. It's true. It's all true. I admit I am a dickhead. Um, I'm interested in the design that Marcos is using with his PVC overflows. Am I allowed to smoke on your channel? I can't remember or not.
Go ahead.
Right, yeah, I guess you're playing around with plastic sex toys, so smoking is probably a minimal concern to everyone.
Shh, you weren't supposed to tell him what I'm really doing.
Well, anyone says brine shrimp hatchery, my brain instantly goes below the waistband. I'm instantly thinking horny thoughts. Oh, brine shrimp hatchery. Oh, clean up aisle pants. But yeah, Marcos, are your PVC overflows? Do they use the Bell siphon type technology, or is there something else that I'm missing out on? Because I definitely want to try and use some kind of overflow that works. Like a Bell siphon is fairly guaranteeable, but there's really no,
It's not easy to make.
automatic. Yeah, there's no automatic siphoning system that anyone can guarantee works 24/7, 365, all that stuff.
That's one reason I haven't done it. Because I'm worried about because the ones that I've seen rely on a siphon, and if the siphon breaks,
Yeah, you get a bloody mess on your carpet.
or in my case, hardwood floors, which my dad would kill me.
Yeah, well, essentially, getting water on hardwood floors is probably worse than carpet. Because carpet's crap generally anyway, so, put a bit of water on it, you might make your carpet better. Put a bit of water on your hardwood floor, it's not getting better.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm also, with regards to overflows, like, I don't necessarily want to drill tanks because
Oh no, knowing me,
sometime in the future you might want that tank to be, more voluminous. You want it to be fuller than that level of the overflow.
yeah, that, and I don't tell my dad, but I flood my floor quite a bit with this tank.
I am so emailing your dad right now.
Because it has the overflow right there. It has it was a reef tank before, so it has a overflow kind of a thing. And
so pretty much every water change you do on that tank, you get some spillage that you don't desire.
Well,
or just in general.
In general, because I try not to fill it up too high, or that will happen.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it happens more often than I want it to.
Indoor fishing says they're gonna pop up shortly.
Yes,
and show me what they're talking about, because it's definitely a subject that I'm interested in, because my tanks always change, so I don't want to drill a tank and then have it committed to that water level for the rest of its life without somehow plugging up the back of it and getting this filthy little section of water. I'd rather
Yeah.
have a temporary option like a PVC overflow, whether
Well,
it's a
knowing
bell siphon or not.
well, knowing me, I'd either kill myself or I would probably crack the tank trying to do it.
Yeah, no one needs that hassle, is it? So what do you what am I trying to say is I guess the biggest question here. But the next question then is, what are you breeding your brine shrimp for? Who's going to be eating these lucky children of shrimp? Everyone,
Well,
I guess.
I have a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but I have some guppies that I want to use it for. And for the moment, I have dime size angelfish and
What size?
dime size.
Oh,
Like,
dime size, like the
well,
coin.
maybe a nickel. They're not that big. They're like that big.
Hey, while you've got a free hand, can you take that BJ Palmer message off the screen? Because I've read it like 35 times now, and it doesn't get any funnier each time I read it.
Okay.
Sorry, BJ. I love you. Yeah, dime sized. Yeah, I thought you were referring to some magical angel species that I'd not heard of. Diamond eyes. Angels. Oh yeah, let's get me some of them. $50 each. Okay. And then they turn up in the post and they're just tiny coin-sized fish.
Dime, not diamond, Blackie.
Gotcha. I just explained my catching up in that last piece of terrible comedy I tried to do. I'm back.
BJ. Oh, I was enjoying pissing you guys off. All right, so some airline tubing and I'm set. And I still got more RO tubing, which I'm happy about. Just in case I need it. So what are you doing in your... Okay. Really? He's gonna leave me up here alone. Really? So rude, Blackie. Didn't even say goodbye. Didn't even say goodbye. So very rude. Then again, what do you expect? It is Dr. Black. Yes, Sandy, I do know that Greg Sage has a PVC overflow. Because, yeah, I would not want to drill my tanks. But apparently, oh, Petromin's going to be a grandfather? Yeah, grandpa. Sorry, a begrudging grandfather. Nobody's gonna ask what? Where the heck did Blackie go? How dare he leave me up here by myself? But I really want to see the PPC overflow, because the one thing that I wasn't pissed, just nauseated. Okay, that was like 10 minutes ago, BJ. Unless you're referring to something else I said. What happened? Click the wrong button?
No. It seems my town has been subjected to terrible internet over the last few weeks. I've been getting. I was super surprised that I managed to go 4 hours on my live stream today without getting booted. But I think my previous 2 live streams, I've had multiple internet cuttings, so I've been kicked out and stuff. But yeah, that seems to be what happened just then as well. Another one of our lovely local internet just stop. That's what happened. The internet
Blackie,
stopped.
I don't understand. I live in Silicon Valley. The shall I be so bold to say the founding of tech, and yet we have the worst internet
Yeah, right.
and cellular services here.
Well, that's another thing that I touched on only a week or 2 ago with Corvus, was talking about how the area that I live in was like one of the first places in our country, back in the late 80s, early 90s, where they started laying all of the cable and the foundations for what we have now become to know as the internet and stuff. And so we had all the great stuff when it first came out and whatnot. And it seems like no one's come along afterwards to sweep up the dust and, tidy the cobwebs from the corners, as it were. They've left us in the lurch with our awesome.
Well,
It's like you say, I get it. It's Silicon Valley. They probably had amazing cables and all the great connections 25 years ago, 30 years ago, or whatever. And then all the interest spread to everyone must have this. So the originals get left behind and their wires go rusty and they don't get looked at by technicians. So yeah, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
Well, I mean, okay. Steve Jobs. Let's see. Who else? Steve Jobs. Mark Zuckerberg.
I've got half a movie script written about Steve Jobs, by the way.
Let's see. Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Marissa Mayer, and there are like 2 or 3 others, but I'm blanking on who they were because it's too late. Anyways, they all live or lived in Palo Alto.
Oh yeah.
So what the heck? I mean,
can I just say I wouldn't know what Palo Alto was and less for crosswords because it appears in crosswords so frequently. As everyone knows, I do a hell of a lot of crosswords each day, all week. Palo Alto. Thank you, crosswords. Tell your mum. Sorry, keep going.
That's it. I mean, we have all these people that live here, and yet it's like the internet and cell service is so dang crappy.
And like half of the people that live there could probably walk out into the street with a micro screwdriver set and fix the problem in 20 minutes. That sort of situation. You've got all the right people in the right spot, but no one's doing nothing. Oh, you can keep your Sudoku, BJ. Me and numbers ain't the best of friends. Even though I do maths okay. I don't know what I've got. What have I got against Sudoku? Kevin, tell me. Why don't I do Sudokus?
Probably because they're a pain in the butt to do.
Are they? But I do cryptic crosswords. I do at least 2 of them a day, and they're a pain in the butt to do as well, but I endure them. Why don't I do Sudoku? Oh,
I don't know. Why don't you?
it's really just opened up a very deep question in my mind because I've always been vehemently against doing Sudoku as a puzzle. But I'm like, I love my word search. I love my crosswords. The harder the crossword, the better. I love it. Why do I spurn the Sudoku? Much easier. Oh, BJ Palmer, you're talking me around.
Let's see. Sudoku. Sudoku is the one where you have a grid and
a grid of grids, I think it is, because you've got a bunch of 9 grids of 9. Is it? Is that how Sudoku works?
oh yeah, you can't have more than one. I'm just thinking of the simple Sudoku where you have one grid and you can't have the same number or in either the column or the row.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, that's the game you're talking of, but I'm learning as much as you are as we go through these rules. Okay. So let's keep this going. Because I don't know much about it.
I'm trying to pick your brain and remember, but again, too late.
Yeah, you've got a grid of 9 squares, and you can only use each number once. 1 through 9. And they have to add up or something, don't they, at the end of each row and column?
They don't have to add up. They just can't be, there can't be duplicates in the row or the column.
Yeah, right. How entertaining has this stream become? We're teaching people how not to play Sudoku.
True.
I heard these guys talk about Sudoku on a live stream the other day. I'm never going to try that.
No. Although one stream we talked about, God, what was it? Nutgrass. So
Talked about what?
Nutgrass.
Nutgrass. Like that. That's like a shitty version of grass that turns up in your lawn and it has terrible seeds and stuff. That one.
I think Dee Dee coined that phrase or that name.
Can someone please explain what this nutgrass that Kevin's going on about in the chat? Because I don't understand. I'm so lost.
No, Patrick. Nutgrass, not nutmeg. Nutgrass is what Deborah was talking about. She found she found it in her lawn and decided she was going to chuck it in her aquarium. And for some reason or another, we started talking about it, and they named it nutgrass. And we were going on for a whole stream about nutgrass. So considering, I think that this is a lot less.
Well, what I call nutgrass down here in Australia is also, it's an invasive grass that gets into your normal lovely lawn you like, but they call it nutgrass because it creates seed pods, or not pods, it creates seeds off of the rhizome. You know how rhizome plants grow with the tuber and whatnot. So it has this specialized root that comes out off the rhizome, and you get like 2 to 5 maybe seeds on these seed strands. I don't know what the science term is. Don't call me out on it. And yeah, because
I didn't even know it was a thing.
You pull the nutgrass out of your lawn, and generally you pick it up, and it's got some black seeds dangling down below it. I hope my description with my hands doesn't require me to say, but you know, it's like you're picking up something that's got nuts dangling underneath it. So yeah,
like peanuts. BJ's asking, like peanut sorta.
Well, I reckon it wouldn't be. I'm glad BJ Palmer led my mind down this alley, because I wouldn't imagine that it'd be too far-fetched that peanuts and these forms of grasses are related. Because, yeah, I mean, peanuts are a below-the-ground thing. They don't grow on a tree like other nuts do. So I wouldn't be surprised if the nutgrass may be a like an ancestor or a further along the evolutionary chain of the same sort of plant. But maybe next time I pull some nutgrass out of my lawn, I'll have a chew on one of the seeds and see if my peanut allergy flares up. See if I'm off to the hospital for some ephedrine.
Wait, you have to go to the hospital? You can't use an EpiPen?
I was just lying, Kevin. I don't have any allergies.
Oh, okay.
I just needed to try and get epinephrine into a sentence succinctly, and I failed.
Wasn't
yeah,
there...
that's a fun research project, BJ Palmer. I'm going to actually. I'm not going to actually, but I'm going to say actually that I'm going to try and remember to investigate whether peanuts are related to my local nutgrass. You've opened a can of worms, love. Well done. Your turn, Kevin. Sorry, go.
What I was gonna say wasn't there somebody, I forget where it was, but there was somebody who had a boyfriend, or no, he had a girlfriend that was allergic to peanuts, and he had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or peanut butter sandwich like 2 or 3 hours before he even saw her, and he kissed her and killed her.
Wow.
So he went into I don't know what you call it.
Anaphylactic shock.
Thank you. I can't even say that word.
Well, there's the D and the R at the start of my name aren't there for no reason, Kevin. That's the only reason, because I know how to say anaphylactic shock. They gave me the doctor just like that.
Wow, the bar is really low then, huh?
Oh yeah. You pay your $11.95 and sign your life away.
Oh, see, the $11.95 is okay. I don't know about the signing my life away part.
$11.95 Australian. That's like 9 cents American.
I know.
Maybe 8.5 cents.
I don't know what the conversion rate is now. Is it that low or is it that big?
I mean, it'd be fantastic if I was selling artwork or something to American people. I'd win. But yeah, if I've got to buy something from America, or if I have to send money your way, it's really, really, really bad. But like I said, the other way around, it's fantastic. You know, a $26 t-shirt from Scunch Princess's site, you know, nets her like $97,000 or something with the current exchange rate. It's crazy. She can buy a house soon if she sells 4 t-shirts.
Ooh. All right, now I have to go back.
I'm really holding your show up with some terrible comedy, Kevin. You need to change the subject or do something. I can't keep doing this. I lie. I can do this all day long. All 3 of the people watching are wrapped. I don't even know how many people are watching. I don't get that information, do I? No. So where's your brine shrimp hatchery up to? Where did you get to? Did you finish?
Yes, but I need to go in the other room and just put the airline tubing down to an air pump, which I'm not going to do tonight. But yes, I have finished it.
Do your your like room temperature, is that ambient warm enough for them, or do you have to give them a heat source as well? Oh, it's like summer where you are anyway, so ambient temperature is like brine shrimp heaven right now, isn't it?
Yeah. I probably should. I'd get a better hatch rate and probably quicker, but I don't use a heater in them.
Yeah, I never did. Like I can't say that I've been an extensive brine shrimp breeder or feeder or anything, but I certainly have dabbled in them in the past. It's been a long fish hobby, this one of mine. But yeah, I never heated them, and it was only sort of the last maybe 4 or 5 years that I've heard people talking about keeping them at a certain temperature and stuff. So yeah, I don't necessarily believe that they need to be kept at a certain temperature, but I understand that if you might be in, Canada somewhere where it's super chilly, or the Philippines where it's too hot, or somewhere like that where temperature control might be advisable. But I think for the most part they'll hatch and be just as good in any temperature. Yeah.
Well, so I agree with you on that one. Because I don't know. Brine shrimp seem, considering they're so small, I would think that brine shrimp are pretty, considering they're pretty hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tiny, but they're pretty dang hardy. One of the things that's frustrating for me is that I live like 15, 20 minutes away from the bay. And yet I can't go to I don't think I can go to the San Francisco Bay and harvest my own brine shrimp.
Aren't
But
they like?
I'm
Isn't there like strict regulations on harvesting them from the wild?
probably.
Now I think I saw something about that. That there's it's like a mafia almost of the people that control the wild brine shrimp harvesting.
Well, the other question is that I'm not sure about is technically brown shrimp, from what I know, are live bearers. But when conditions are not right, they will lay cysts or eggs.
Mm. Do you know? Do they do have the ability to live bear? Is that a fact that you know? I've not heard that.
I'm pretty sure they're live bearers because they don't come out in shells. If the conditions are correct, they should not need a shell. All right, Marcos.
So that they've just developed the ability to lay eggs as a potential protection against dodgy conditions.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, exactly.
Marcos. Oi. Nice friggin' beard work, mate. I don't know if I've seen Marcos's face before.
Is
I'm
he
liking
frozen?
his beard. He's frozen, yeah, but that gives me extra ability to really enjoy and savor his beard.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, there we go.
Okay. It all froze up for me on this end.
Like I was saying, it gave me time to appreciate your beard, Marcos. Thank you for the freezing.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Nice to meet you, man.
Likewise. We met before, but yeah, it wasn't much on my end either, so we'll just do it all over again.
I say that to everyone. I said it to Kevin 2 hours ago. Nice to meet you. I like to pretend that I haven't met people before.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you did actually meet him, you probably not. That would probably be the last time.
Why
Exactly,
is it the last time?
yeah.
What's going to happen? Am I in trouble?
No, I think he's.
I'm referring to
to
Blackie.
Yeah, people meeting me. Generally, they meet me the first time, and then they don't want to meet me ever again.
I get it. I can see why.
Yeah.
But you know what? Every now and again, one stands out from the crowd, and you know they don't care what other people say. They accept the fellow anyways. That's why I'm hanging out with Kevin. I don't care what anybody says about him. He's all right in my book.
What do people say?
No, I'm just kidding.
About me, yeah.
What?
Where are you at, Macross?
Saying about me, Marcos?
That's to get all the chicks. Everybody hates it. I'm over here in Southern California.
Oh yeah, you're in LA area, right?
No. Well, I'm about an hour east of LA. So LA would be an hour west of me. If I got my physics right. Yeah.
All right, they really do not make this easy.
So which puts me about an hour and a half north of San Diego. So I'm like right in the middle. If you're to go to Vegas, you're gonna pass by this little town called San Bernardino, Fontana. That's all one city apart from each other. I'm from the San Bernardino, Colton area.
Are you a strong swimmer, Marcos?
I'm a hell of a floater.
A floater, right? So you could potentially float to my house in about 9 to 10 months, give or take.
With potential, yes, we'll say yes. With potential, that is possible.
It's very hard to predict the wind and stuff every day.
Yeah, when how much meat the sharks leave behind. I might wind up there and here. You never know. So you guys were talking about overflows earlier?
Yeah, we were, and I'm still. That's the only reason I'm still here is I've been waiting for you to come up and show me this overflow of yours. But now I'm seeing your nice rack work and stuff as well, and I want to
Thank you.
know
Oh,
what your racks are made of.
well, everything's natural. Oh, wood. Um, this guy's metal. Where am I at? Okay, so the rain's coming in from the south. No. Don't look at my pen. Oh, this is keyboards and wires. Oh, I did this one wrong. This should be it. Hey, I'm gonna disconnect for a moment.
G'day, Larry.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What have
Can
I
you
done?
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
we can hear you, but we can't see you anymore.
I can hear you. I know, I can hear you guys too. See, wrong camera. Getting to the right camera. Getting closer.
How many cameras do you have?
55.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, so this check it out. This is a disaster of a tank coming up. So this one I could do a water change in now because I just filled up the reservoir. And
My grandma always told me it was best to start with a disaster.
yeah, that's this bad boy. But there is a lot of like life in there, so I don't want to just toss it. So I'm thinking about using this stuff to seat up a little summer tub while there's still summer left.
Oh yeah. I want to do I want to try and do a PVC matin filter overflow.
You could do it.
I like where your head's at, Kevin. How would we go about it?
For my shrimp. Because I have 3 shrimp tanks at the moment.
So you'd have the matin filter at the end of the tank, blocking off your filtration area, and you'd have this form of PVC overflow in behind it.
Exactly.
And where does it overflow to?
Like
a sump or
a sump or the next tank, and then down to a
yeah.
sump.
Yep. So how do we facilitate these PVC overflows?
All right, so the way this particular system works is I have a valve, so it's not really it's an overflow, but I typically keep the water above the inlet. You know, so the water is going to drain down to those holes when it gets going. So the reason why I do that is so I can keep it above the outtake, and then when I turn the valve, it gives me an actual water change. You know what I mean? Rather than keeping it level the whole time, and then when I run the water in, I'll get like a water dilution. But if I drain it down that much first, then fill the water in, then I get an actual change. So that's the reason why I have the valve. That's how the frame. Okay.
And all you got to do is you walk up to that and you turn that ball valve,
Yep.
and it starts emptying.
Yeah.
Or do you don't have to trigger anything else?
No, on a good day it just goes. So that's why on this what is that? What is that little guy? That guy. That's why on this pipe there's usually a cap right there, and that's part of the venting for the overflow. I don't know. I don't understand all the physics of this, but I just know that this guy needs to be higher than that guy.
Yeah, right. Lets the air bubbles out that might stop the siphon from working, I guess.
Yeah. And then what I learned today was if I keep this guy a little higher, whenever the overflow whenever a siphon does get broken, right here in this area, then all I have, if this pipe is high enough, all I gotta do is just put the turkey baster, put water in there, and eventually it's gonna force all the air out of that way.
Yeah,
out of there.
right.
And once that happens, you'll be primed up again. So now it's drained. That's as low as it's going to get.
That's fucking awesome. I mean, that's really nice. A really good design. Sorry, Kevin.
So what I do is I go to this switch.
What?
I flip that switch.
I slipped an F-bomb, Kevin. Sorry.
I flip the switch right here. That triggers a pump inside there.
You're fine, Black dude.
And that gets distributed via the RO stuff you see. And for this particular tank, it comes down to here. So if there's ever an issue, I just need to shut up. I need to shut it off for whatever reason. I can turn the valve there, which has happened already. Because there's times when I'm going to adjust the ball valve, and I kind of forget, and it's not in it, so there's no pressure point. Like a little while ago, this sucker was overflowing, so I had to load it a little, drain it out a little. So I was able to. That's why it's closed. I was able to close it up. So I still got a Jason Jackson. Yeah, it's good. So that's what the ball valves are for. So that way, I can have it going. And then at this point, I have the choice to either keep the valve open and let it act as an overflow, or close the valve and let it fill up. So that's how all these are set up. Just there. Some of them I kind of goofed up. They're right across from each other, like this one. The intake's right next to the outtake. That one I kind of is when I fell and got it right. They're actually across. That one doesn't have this one, and this one was supposed to have been ran with a doser, but the settings didn't get set right. A couple things messed up here and there, and basically kind of worked. So I got to kind of go through it. So, I'm not going to rely on the doses so much. So that's why this one doesn't have a drain, because I'm supposed to be done out of the drain machine. Yeah, that's basically it. They just kind of repeat yourself.
So yeah, it's obviously it's working well for you because you're using it on plenty of systems.
Yeah. And the way that sensor on this one, sensor on this one, it goes through the black polytubing. The polytubing is I only use that for the draining, because when I try to use that for the delivery system, it just leaked everywhere. And I'm pretty sure I remember, what's that dude you guys are talking about? Master Breeder Dean. He had mentioned about going through different materials, and I remember him saying all that stuff leaked. And I was like, cool, I'm glad I heard that. But I should have wrote it down, because I made all this shit. And then I just make it again. And then what's stuck behind was the black polytubing for the draining. So that guy goes down to there, drains into here. There is the that's if I want to turn off the pump coming out of the reservoir, either that way or that way.
Wow.
So it's draining out through this black polytubing. It all winds up going down here into that bucket. And that bucket has the sump pump that was activated by flow, by height. See that one was like I had seen that idea before, but what really solidified it as maybe say, you know what, shit, this is what I need to do, was another Master Breeder Dean tour, where he was talking about how everything goes in that one bucket. And you see a bunch of little tubes going to the bucket, so you just shut off. Meanwhile,
yeah, it's not silly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy's still flowing, and it has risen in it because it's overflowing right now.
Have you done like a video on your channel of your overflow systems?
I've recorded all this stuff without the audio to do voiceovers, but I had the wrong damn phone on me for quite some time, and so no. But right now I'm recording everything I'm doing. So I'll start releasing some stuff. Well, I have one of them edited, and I just got to do the voiceover. But that's not even for this. That's for the update on this polygon.
Yeah, I'll be looking out eagerly for that video because I'm gonna steal that design. It looks like it works choice.
Well, you know what? It's the initial idea came from a Greg Sage video. It was the Korean Co-op does the tour. Then Greg Sage makes actual video. Somebody mentioned it in chat earlier, I think.
Hello, White Wolf.
Right?
What was that?
Somebody mentioned in chat earlier about a Greg Sage video.
Yeah.
So that's when I first got the idea. Then watching YouTube surfing, I went to King of DIYs, and then he was the one that I seen that used the altitude. So the one goes inside the other, and I have a sponge to separate, hopefully, so in case any fire gets in there.
And
And how do
I
you-
think it's the perfect highlight of what YouTube's all about for people like us because I did the same thing. I went and YouTubed a whole bunch of videos about people, making their own filters and stuff, and then I used all of the stuff that I learned and went and built 3 different designs of my own DIY filters.
Yeah.
Just kicks off our initiative and our desire to create stuff, I guess.
Yeah. The it's really neat. How you're saying especially since how you're saying you wanted to do something like this, we're able to say, yeah, this is what's working for me, and take it for me, and plus from the other videos, this tube is eventually going to leak, especially if you're dealing with the spaghetti tubing. But so far, if you're dealing with just a 1/2 inch, I don't know what that is in millimeters. But if you're dealing with the wider diameter tubing, that one isn't so bad for draining because it's meant to be under higher pressure.
1/2 inch in millimeters is about 0.8 centimeters, so about 8 millimeters. No, hang on,
Full metal jacket.
maybe 11.
Marcos,
Yes.
how do you make sure that the siphon doesn't break?
That's one of those questions where it's a good question. I can't really say that I can make sure that the cipher doesn't break. What a better way I could answer that is by saying I'm quite I say confident, not confident, but I believe that it's not going to break. Now, what I base that belief on is the research that I've done, the errors that I've made in terms of leaving the house and forgetting the pump is on, and everything's just running, but nothing ever fills. The only time I've ever had an issue is when I've had something over the float valve and I had the valve closed for the drain, and then it overflows that way. But as far as initially, I've only had to kickstart like 2 of them, and that's because I had the cap off on top and everything's evaporating out to the top tube. But to start it back up is still a lot less work than
So,
a bucket.
if the air, say the pump turns off, right?
Right.
And then you turn back on the pump.
Right.
Do you have to reprime the do you have to reprime the overflows?
Very rarely. That's only been a couple times. Not often at all. I did it twice today. I think that's the first time I did those. I had to do that in a few weeks. Keep myself in about a week or so. But somebody else is watching these tanks for me, so I don't know when's the last time they had to do that. But otherwise, not too often. Especially if you keep a cap on to kind of help control the evaporation. And then part of it has to do with this right here. Like excuse me. Part of it has to do with this.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I'm not going to hold back anymore. I think water needs to be trapped inside here. I think this is the water that where it breaks to where the siphon doesn't, where it goofs up or something. So as long as I have this valve turned, I know water's trapped in there. The only way it can go is to evaporate up. So the choose, but mind you, this exact same one is the one right here. I had a kickstart again, or this one. No, this one. Both these things, I think, actually. But they haven't been changed in I don't know how long. That's kind of why you'll see people with a pump that it pumps water very slowly, and they'll like put it someplace in here, and it'll keep water circulating in it. I figure if you're gonna go through that, then you might as well go with the traditional overflow. But when I really get down to think about it, it's the same damn principle. You're having a tube that's going into another space, and then there's still surrounded by the water around it, and then it's sucking water out of another space. It's like it's doing the same thing as this. So this winds up being the same thing. So to take precautions, I put the sponge to make sure stuff didn't get in there. But I think the main issue would be eventually maybe algae or something building up in there. So that's why I rely on it as like a water changer to change it when I'm here. I could just walk up, turn it off.
Well, White Wolf.
It looks like a pretty solid system, man.
Yeah,
pretty good. Yeah. Fucking like that a lot. I mean, I like that a lot.
So now this one is draining. Yeah, so the King of DIY, he has it on his video how to make a siphon. It's the upgraded version. The Greg Sage has a lot on it. Greg Sage is a little different. His is basically the same as this. It's pretty much the same thing. The difference is instead of it being a tube inside of a tube, Greg Sage has a tube going down at a 90, and it just works that way. I like this one because it's just in the corner or wherever you want to put it. So the trick from here after this point is going to be where you put your water at. And then if you're not going to use a pump, then it has to go downhill or into a bucket, and then that's where the manual work comes in. This right now to my shower. Well, it's supposed to be going outside. It's supposed to be going outside, but right now that's what it's at. Yeah.
All right, I got a bail, gentlemen. I have to go and prepare some dinner.
Sounds good.
I have to put
Thank you, Dr. Black, for coming up.
No worries at all, dude. I'll see you all when I'm looking at y'all.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thanks
What's for dinner?
Thanks for. I'm going to do curried sausages tonight. It's only my third time doing them, but I've become quite the expert at them, apparently.
Right.
So stick with what you're good at, they say.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for showing us your pipes, man.
No problem. Show my pipes anytime. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, read. All right. I'll see you soon.
All right, man. See you. See you back.
So, Marcos?
Yes.
So there's no backup in case it in case it clogs or the siphon doesn't start, right?
Yes, there is a backup. Don't look at my belly. There is a backup. The backup is the float valve. In case the siphon breaks on this float valve is attached to the delivery system, and then with that float valve there, it's not going to overflow. Which I've relied on that a couple times. But that's how I was able to leave the house and come back. And these things are held up. And these things are meant for like about 60 psi, I think, or something. This is only like 4. So the only thing you got to worry about is if it's enough psi to hold the seal. But they're it's relying on the pressure of the water to create the seal. So
Yeah.
it's working pretty good.
Okay.
And it's going and using RO tubing that you're using,
Yeah.
so I can get a better shot or something. Go over here. I have some Taiwan Lily clippings. I'm gonna trade them to the LFS. There's some sponge mops. Maybe with some rice fishing on them. Maybe not. I'll find out.
Oh, cool.
And then this,
That would-
huh? Yeah, that'd be cool. My slipper. Don't look at my slipper. I'm secure with my slippers. And this little guy is gonna be. I forgot what it's called. I think it's no. I didn't forget. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Cardamine Latia or something. Yeah, that's what the scuds left. They left that, and even the lights falling apart. The scuds and everything.
Wait, what is in there?
I think Cardamine Latia. It looks like a Brazilian pennyworth, but it's a little smaller.
Okay.
But that's all that's left is the stems, because I had that in the tank that had scuds and a few rice fish. But the scuds, they eat all of the new growth as soon as it grows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So all that's left is stems. I made a vase out of that, some clippings from that stuff, and it's growing new leaves. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it off, throw it inside of one of those, and let it grow. And there. So what was I on the way to show you?
What?
What was I going to show you? Oh yeah, another. Okay, here you go. That's what's the ball valve. We're just gonna talk about the same thing but a different way.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay, because that was my only worry.
Yeah. Right now this one is set to that. That's not even tight. See if that's loose, then you get shit overflow. So you gotta have it adjusted.
Yes, Larry, but then you'd have to buy a drill tank or you'd have to drill it yourself. And you'd probably break like 10 tanks before you actually got one that was decent looking.
And to be honest with you, doing all this makes me want to drill my tanks. If I ever have a fish room, I really want to drill my tanks because this is a lot of BS and worrying that you got to worry about. Because all the questions you're asking about what's going to overflow, what's not going to overflow. I think if you keep the system running, like if we're just running nonstop, it's not gonna mess up. But if you pause and break it, I think that's when you really have things to worry about.
Yeah, and that's what I'm always worried about is just the fact that I'm in my room and my dad would kill me if I if it overflowed, and we have hardwood floors, so I understand why he's worried about it.
Hey, do you have younger siblings?
One younger brother.
Maybe a purpose is to show them what not to do. You might have to take one for the team. Let it overflow, see what happens. He's probably not going to kill you. He's probably just going to, be disappointed, give you the bigger spiel. But that's why that's how you plan ahead, and you do things like this.
Yeah.
Because I think a person could spill more water potentially by the bucket filling and bucket draining. You know what I mean? It's just a horrible thing to do. People like it. I get it. People like cutting the grass, but it's not something to build a friendship over.
Yeah.
but this here, take this idea, run with it. But I I think if you're gonna go PVC route, if it's gonna overflow, it's not gonna overflow on you while they're changing the water. So if you're used to manual water changes, anyways, this just makes that job a lot easier. Are you trying to have it run like when no one's looking? Like when you look the other way, this thing turns on when it's going. You know what I mean? Or you just want to? What are you trying to do?
What am I trying to do?
Yeah, like are you trying to have it running to where? Okay, if you're thinking PVC, if you're thinking overflow, are you trying to make it to where?
A sump.
So you want it to be constantly running?
Or at least like 10, 20 minutes, like every hour
I
or
see
so.
what you're saying. Yeah, good to know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because, yeah, because I really wanted it for my shrimp tanks, and they're 10-gallon tanks. I want the volume. What it is I want the volume.
I want the base.
I want to have the volume for the 10-gallon tanks. And so it's difficult because I can't get that in the 10-gallon tanks. So I don't want to drill them because 10-gallon tanks are very thin.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard one or two, at least one person. I've used his name already once. I may have it wrong this time. They're saying that when it comes to 10-gallon tanks, you're gonna break more of what than it is to worth it or some shit or something. But yeah, if you could drill them, I think that'd be that's what I would do, honestly. But going forward, I'll probably drill anything over a 10-gallon. Do 20 gallons. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You could do it. Don't look at that. Don't worry about that. Don't do business with that. Oh, this is good.
But yeah, no, you are right. I'm
But what I say, I kind of just forget what I say sometimes. What are we talking about? Oh, 20 gallons? Yeah, get 20 gallon. Okay. How many different shrimp are you gonna have? You can put the TV on the thing on both of us.
well, okay, I will.
You don't have to.
So right there are my 3 shrimp tanks.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is I want to have it overflow, go to this tank, overflow, and then go to that tank, and then overflow into a sump, and then it gets pumped back up to that top tank.
Oh, sorry, I fell asleep. What happened? No, I'm kidding. Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, you could do that. People do that. There was a toy video of a guppy breeder. He was describing his old guppy secret that guppy breeders use, and they had one tank next to another, and they had an overflow going from one tank to the other all day. You know what I mean? It's essentially the same thing you want to do. No, are you going to be there for this? For every time this shit happens, this extravaganza happens?
What was that?
Are you going to be there every water change?
Yeah.
If you're going to be there for every water change, then just do it. because you'll see what happens. The meaning like in that case, prime the siphons. So you get it. So we believe that the thing will work, and then yeah, I think it'll work. I think it'll be fine.
All right, I'll try it because again, my only issue was priming it. If like the power, God forbid, turned off and the pump stopped, then I'd have a mess on my floor.
You don't want that.
Because if the pump stopped, the siphon would stop, but then when the pump started up again, it wouldn't be primed, and so it would get all over the floor. And again, I have hardwood floors, and my dad would kill me if I did. If I flooded the floors again.
Again, Kevin. Yeah, man. So you can do it or what?
Well, I say again because I got the Python water changer,
Okay, all right.
and I got the Quick Connect.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't seal one of them properly. So yeah.
That's funny.
And of course my dad got upset. And then of course my dad got upset with me because they helped clean it up, and he got very upset with me. But then the problem is when you try and shut off that, you turn that valve to turn off the water there. It doesn't turn all the way off either. So of course broke that. So that was fun.
Roger from Dubai. Shout out to Dubai. We should kind of take heed of what Patrick Hardy said. But what about, like, if aquarium gets sick, one's fine, the other one's not, and the other one can't get anything right. You have to worry about like one passing thing to the other. And before you know it, both towns got to get obliterated.
Not if I have the shrimp already, and I've had them for 8 months now, and I'm not introducing any new shrimp.
I think right, and I think you could. Well, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying okay. When you're designing a system, instead of having it going directly into another tank, you can very easily set it off to run it to the tanks run separate, and then when you fill the tanks, all tanks get filled fresh water, unless you have them in a sump. Then you do something.
I don't have a floor drain.
Okay, well then, are you going to use a UV sterilizer in your sump?
I wasn't planning on it.
If you're gonna, I don't know much about those, but when I was thinking about doing something like you're talking about, I was considering putting a UV sterilizer in the reservoir, or at least an inline sterilizer going back to the tanks. The only thing about the sterilizer is I don't know if it's going to kill too much of the good shit, or how that works, or if there's enough of the good bacteria and stuff in the tanks and the substrate, and that's how that works.
No, that's a good idea.
Of course,
that would be a good idea. I just don't know. I need to look into it more.
Yeah, bro. You gotta spend about another 3 hours with research. Call me in the morning. the
Yeah.
And were you talking about feeders earlier? About food feeders, fish feeders?
Mm-hmm.
These are the ones I got. These guys.
What are they called, and how do you like them, and what do you use them for?
I haven't really used them. Can't tell you if I like them. The fish
Oh,
feeders. Boom. Quick interview. Nah, the I left them behind for other people to use them, but I don't know if they ever really got used because all of us because they said they didn't work because there's still food in there a week later or 2 weeks later. But I'm thinking no one ever trusted it, and they just kind of overlooked it. But the concept of it
oh,
seems right. The what it is you got this little shit this little plate here. This little plate sits on this little rotating guy, and it turns like a timer, like a light timer. And when it hits a certain spot, it goes over that drop hole. So it shoves the food along. So I'm thinking auto feeder was working, and just nobody ever refilled it because they were all on the spot where I left them, but they're empty. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna end it soon, but my one question there, well, yeah, I'm gonna end it soon-ish.
Yeah.
But my question there would be, what do you put in the feeder?
What I was using
Hmm.
was
Flake, pellet, what do you use?
both. I had mixed a little bit of that the fry starter food. This stuff you've probably seen it around the grill fry starter. I
Oh,
use a little bit of that along with some krill.
crow
The
flakes?
Yeah, and some of them just the krill.
Because I have that angel fish tank over here,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got them, and they're like nickel quarter size. Mm, and I'm going to Tahoe in like 2 weeks,
Who's the hoe?
and so I want to make sure that they're fed. The rest of the tanks are fine. I've done it before, and they'll be fine. Um, but I'm just worried about the angels because they're babies still. I have
These
12
ones
of
are
them.
how? Yeah. Well, I would get it and have it at least 3 days before you leave. So that way you know yourself if it's going to work or fail, or set up the arrangement to have it delivered, returned, and have new ones on the way, or whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
But these ones you could have them set to go up to as much as once a day for 2 weeks, or you could divide that down to like 4 times a day for like a few days. You know what I mean? There's four different pins for you to set the time of day. So with 14 slots, so you could do twice a day for a week, or with once a day for 2 weeks. And it's I think it was working. I think people around here just don't trust technology. We're not that. I don't trust you know certain things. Like I was one of those kids that didn't like filling out those things where you can win stuff because I thought that's how you attract us. I was
One
paranoid.
more time?
You hear comedians talking about this, and I know what they mean about how remember there'll be like raffles, and usually at the shopping market, sometimes in the mall, for like just some weird shit, like ceramic waterfall or something.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would avoid those not filling them out because I'm like, oh man, that's how they're gonna find out where I'm at. No reason to be paranoid at such a young age. But yeah. Anyways, I forgot how we talked about this. And anyways, there was a joke in there, but I'm not a funny guy. My bad. That one kind of derailed a little. No.
Come on over, Patrick. But yeah, that was because that's the only thing that I'm worried about is the angels. Otherwise, I think I'm good. The shrimp will be fine. I just put in a few catappa leaves. And then the other two tanks have enough. I mean, they're seasoned enough where they'll be fine. And one of them doesn't have very much in it. And then the other one, it's not a ton of plants, and it'll be fine. They're bettas, plecos, and a few other things. But yeah, no, they should be totally fine on the trip. So I just need to get probably one auto feeder for the angels, or I might have somebody come over and thaw out the brine shrimp and feed them to the angels because they are small. What?
I'm saying yes. I see. I'm taking it all in. How long are you going to be gone for?
1 week.
That's not bad. They can go cook. So during the whole time, you just got to feed them like 3 times. They could probably go a whole week.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Petromin was kind of scaring me, but I was thinking maybe one week. I didn't think that they would be too bad, but because again they were shipped in. I think they were in the bag for like a week. And I'd have them for at least 2 or 3, like a month or so. So I have time to fatten them up before we go.
Yeah.
As it was, I was going to leave them for 2 days. Right when I got them, I was gonna leave Monday. We were gonna leave Thursday, or Wednesday. But I asked my parents if we could leave Thursday because they were supposed to come in Thursday. And on the acclimation instructions, it says don't feed for 2 days, 24 to 48 hours, which seems stupid to me, but that's what it said. So I was like, okay, I can put them in the tank, acclimate them, and then leave them for 2 days. I think we were leaving like Thursday and coming back Sunday. So
how long did you have them?
I got them like a week or two, like 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
And they're like, they were advertised at dime size. They might be a little bit bigger.
Can you get anybody here at the house to put you on a Zoom meeting so you can see what's going on in the tank? To put your mind at ease while you're gone?
What was that?
That was a mouthful. I'll try to shorten it up this time. Do you have anybody to FaceTime with you and show you the tank while you're gone? You know how you could do like a Zoom meeting? Do you have anybody at your apartment or your house, wherever you're at, that could do a Zoom meeting and they could show you your fish while you're gone?
No, because everybody who is living here would be with us.
Tell one of them to stay behind. They got to take one for the team. You do it for them. Get a little dirt on them. And be like, look it. I heard something the other day when I was sitting on the bus. And then tell them, make some shit up. And like, well, who are they going to believe? Who are you? So and then get them to stay behind and watch the fish for you.
Yeah, Patrick, I don't have any plants in there right now just because it is a grow out tank, and I'm gonna try and breed them, but that is a good idea, and I
Not my
think
idea.
that's what I might do.
Well, my idea. Don't do my idea.
What?
Okay, good. All right. Don't listen to me. Yeah, plants and stuff.
Your idea or Patrick's idea?
Not my idea. My idea has to do with you bribing somebody, blackmailing them, and extorting them. Don't do my idea. It's not gonna work out for you. Next thing you know, you're knocking off banks, liquor stores. Don't do that. But anyways,
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm gonna get going to bed. Thank you for coming.
did I get an auto
And
feeder?
what?
Nothing. No, sorry. Get an auto feeder. Or if you're already planning on it.
Yeah, I think I will. But thank you for coming up and explaining it. I'm also gonna try the overflow. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not
Well,
while I'm gone
how,
on trips.
how often do you change your water, anyways? When was the last time you
Less
did a
than
water change over there?
less than I should. I need to do another water change. I
So does
usually
that mean
do
like
it like
every 2 weeks?
once every month. Once every
Oh
2
my
weeks.
god!
1 month.
And you worried about 2 weeks? Just do a water change like 2 days, like 3 days before you
It's
go.
though okay. No, there's a difference. Those are shrimp tanks.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I'm worried about the angel tank because they're brand new.
Little things. Yeah.
They're brand new. They're babies,
Just do a water
and
change the day before you go. A feed minimum. And do some plant stuff. Whatever Patrick was saying.
yeah. All right.
Auto feed like you're saying, like you're talking about, if you're worried about it.
Thank you, Marcos, for coming up.
I don't know if I'm thanks for having me.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you in the chat,
Um,
Patrick, Buffalo.
We'll see you Friday.
No, probably
Friday.
during the day maybe. What time do you go on? Or late at night on? You go on in the PM?
What was that?
You go on at night on Friday?
Yeah.
All right. My bad. I didn't mean to
10
stop you.
p.m. every time. Of course, Patrick wants us to go another hour. Yeah, no, I'm going to bed. Thanks, everyone, for coming. We'll see you Friday. Bye.